Welcome back, everybody, to Selling Basics, the third module of our course on how to get more patients and get more clients and get them in the door. So, super excited to be here talking about your story and why your branding and messaging should all center around your story. So, Greg, fill us in. Like, why does that matter that we have a specific story that we're telling?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, we're selling people, right? And we're helping people.
Yeah.
So it would make sense to communicate in a way that people like to be communicated in.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That would be a lot of us, can relate with people because of stories, right?
Mm-hmm.
So have you ever had people where you were like, well, I'm going to choose this person because they went through something similar to me,
Yeah.
or they come from a
absolutely.
certain background that's similar
Right.
to me. These are stories.
Right.
So by branding and creating your messaging to where you're saying your story, you're going to resonate and create something that is going to be something where people are like, man, I need to talk to that guy or that gal because I had a story just like that, or I like how they
Yeah.
overcame certain things, or I like how they went to the same school as me, or whatever that is. But
Right.
your job is to create a story so that when people watch it or read it or listen to it, whatever,
Right.
they just feel like, you know what, I know Cameron.
Yeah.
I never even met him, but I feel like I know him and I know his whole story.
Right. Before they ever walk in the door, they feel like they already have a relationship with
Yep.
you, right? By telling that story consistently in your messaging. Yeah, I love that because it's all about that connection with
Yeah.
people, right? That's actually one of the first questions I ask my clients when they come in the door is like, tell me your story.
Yeah.
Tell me all about you and how did we get here
Yeah.
in your life? Because it's usually not just like one thing of like, oh, I bent over and
That
hurt my
was it.
back. Yeah. It's like, well, what got you there to where bending over hurt your back, right? Usually there's a whole cascade of things
Yeah.
that led to that. And so by asking people what their story is, they love that. They tend to really want to tell their story.
That's it's funny, right? So you're a human being,
Yeah.
and you want to hear their story
Right.
because that's how you relate and go, oh, okay, how am I going to communicate to this person based off of what I just heard?
Right.
And that's basically what your story is to them.
Yeah.
How am I going to hire this person based on the story that I just saw
Right.
or heard or listened to, watched?
Right. Well, and you look at like how popular is Netflix right now, or every social media platform like Facebook and YouTube, they're all switching to become more like a TV channel almost, right? Because people are interested in stories. I did an episode of my vodcast with a guy that his whole business is recording his family
Yeah.
and putting it on YouTube,
Yeah.
and people watch it in droves. He's got like 500,000
Yeah.
followers or something like that.
And
Amazing.
What does that tell you?
Right. Yeah, people want to hear your story.
Exactly.
Right? So tell your story and people will be drawn.
Yeah.
The people that you want to work with will be drawn to you.
Exactly. And I can't tell you how many times I hear people go, well, this usually applies to social media. I don't do social media because I don't care
Right.
what someone's eating for breakfast, or I don't care which is just an utter lie.
Right.
Because
I love
they're
it.
just lying
Call
to
them out.
themselves.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you do care because you go to a movie. Why do you care what The Rock is doing
Right.
when it's not even real?
Right.
Or why do
It's
you
a
watch
totally fake story.
Why,
Yeah.
why do you watch TV
Right.
and watch your sitcom or whatever? Like,
Right.
so you're just lying to yourself by saying I don't really care about stories. That's the way we
That's so
communicate.
true.
We communicate through stories, and so
Right.
trying to delude yourself into thinking you're high and mighty because you don't want to see maybe you just don't care about that story,
Right.
right? But you care about stories, and this is how people communicate.
Right.
So
Right, and so just find the stories, and that's true of social media or whatever. We all find the stories or the people that we want to follow, the
Yeah.
things that we like that story. So you tell your story, and you'll gather those people that are like-minded and that
Exactly.
want to hear your story. You'll start to gather those people that resonate with your message, and they'll come in. They'll wind up wanting your services and your products because you already kind of jumpstart that sales process because they like you, they trust you, they feel like you get them, and so you don't have to sell them as hard on you. You just have to sell yourself on you.
well, and the thing is, the better you tell your story,
Yeah.
the stronger, deeper the relationships you'll have
Yeah.
with your customers, and if you're authentic and just, sometimes you don't want to craft a perfect story, like,
Right.
because we all have imperfections.
Oh, for sure.
It's actually counterintuitive to think like by sharing my vulnerability,
Mm-hmm.
it actually increases the amount of connections that people have with me,
Right.
because they're like, oh man, I've felt that way too, or I've done this or that too. And so
Right.
you want to be genuine with what you're sharing and developing when you're sharing a story, because people will they really do love that. That's why
Yeah.
we like specific actors and specific celebrities and
Mhm.
specific shows, because we relate with them.
Yeah, no, it's totally true. So, huge key, huge idea in part of your branding, part of your messaging. Make sure you're telling your story. Be you, be real, and you'll draw those people in that really like you and want what you have to offer. So, awesome stuff. Love that. That really is one of those basics of selling. Is
Yep.
just getting your story out there so that people can follow it. And once you do that, you'll find a group of people that are willing to buy your services and follow you and come into your clinic. So awesome stuff. Thanks so much, Greg. We're going to join you at our next video, kind of about defining that customer journey then. From them very first hearing your story all the way through the sales process, how do we define that customer journey? So join us in the next one.